Hey there, fellow trainers. Have you ever had an encounter and thought to yourself, should I catch or pass? Or perhaps you're merely wondering which encounters are the most desirable. Well, today, we're going to give you those answers, as we review the various Pokemon that can be found as you journey through routes 9, 10, the nearby power plant, and the pitch-black cave known as Rock Tunnel. First off, we have Route 9. On this rocky stretch of road bordering Cerulean City's eastern limits and the western borders of Route 10, we can find the following Pokemon: Rattata, Raticate, Spearow, Fearow, Nidoran male, Nidoran female, Nidorino, and last but not least, Nidorina. Now, all of these are technically duplicate encounters, so I won't be going over them in detail. However, it should be noted that if you've never encountered them prior to these routes, this is yet another chance to get a member of the Nidoran line, be it male or female. So let's move along to Route 10. On this route, bordering the gaping maw of the pitch-black rock tunnel and the waterway leading down to the abandoned power plant, we can find the following Pokemon: Nidoran male, Nidoran female, Magnemite, Machop, Rattata, Raticate, Krabby, and Horsey. Out of all of these encounters, we have 3 new additions. This is the first time we'll encounter them, and thus our first opportunity to catch them. First off, we have Magnemite. This little bucket of bolts is a pure electric type Pokemon in Pokemon Yellow, as the steel type didn't exist until the second generation of games, namely Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. This is to its benefit, as it reduces the amount of weaknesses to be exploited to purely the ground type, and with a lesser multiplier of 2 times weakness as opposed to 4 times. Now let's take a look at the base stats. Overall, it's fairly average, until it reaches its final form. Once it evolves into Magneton, its stats gain a significant and much needed boost. It's still fairly slow compared to the alternative electric-type Pokemon available, but it is sturdy and packs a punch. So where are the drawbacks with this Pokemon? Well, to put it plainly, the issue with this Pokemon is its learn set. As you can see, it only learns 1 electric-type move, and it's pitifully weak. The only worthwhile electric-type moves it can learn are via TM only, but this is admittedly easily addressed and remedied, so it's not as much a downside as it could be. Overall, I'd say Magnemite and its evolved form Magneton are good additions to your roster, and worth catching. Moving on to Machop, we have an evolution line that is notable for its raw power. Machop, along with its evolved forms Machoke and Machamp, have significant bulk, but are slow as molasses. They can take numerous hits and dish out substantial damage as physical sweepers. Fortunately, their learn sets are decent, considering the state of most in Generation 1. However, despite the fact that most of their strongest moves are learned via TM, they do get access to both Seismic Toss and Submission via Level Up, which are both exceptionally useful fighting type moves. Though admittedly, Submission does have a minor drawback of recoil damage. Lastly for this route, we have Krabby. This ever-popular crustacean-inspired Pokemon is sadly marred in this generation by mediocre special stats and strong physical stats. This problem persisted until the physical special split introduced in Generation 4, as until that time, all water-type moves were special moves. Krabby and its evolved form Kingler are hardly the only Pokemon to suffer from this. Goldeen and its evolved form Seeking, mentioned in the previous episode, also suffer from this flaw. Sadly, this means I can't really recommend using it in Pokemon Yellow, as there are far superior alternatives available. Let's move on through the gaping maw of Rock Tunnel and into its pitch-black subterranean depths. Down here, where the light never shines, on floor 1F of Rock Tunnel, we can find Zubat, Geodude, and Machop. Sadly, nothing new appears to be on this floor, so let's head further in and see if we can find anything worthwhile. And as we delve deep beneath the earth into the dark depths of floor B1F of Rock Tunnel, we will indeed finally find something new. As down here, we will find not only the previously mentioned Zubat, Geodude, and Machop, but a rare encounter. Down here, we'll find the rock snake Pokemon Onix, tunneling away in its natural habitat. Sadly, this encounter is not worth the effort, despite its rarity. Onix's only real value is in its ability to soak up physical damage. Now, if you play with items, this might be worth catching, if only to place it on the field as a sacrifice while you heal up the rest of your team. Sadly, in most cases, Onix is a wasted encounter, as its offensive stats are arguably the lowest in the entire game. So let's leave this place and venture back into the sun-drenched fields of Route 10. From there, we'll quickly head downstream along the nearby waterway to the abandoned power plant. Within this derelict structure, we'll find various electric-type Pokemon thrumming away amongst the seemingly inactive machinery. Pokemon such as Magnemite, Magneton, and Voltorb. Sadly, due to the dilapidated state of the structure, we also find that several Muck and Grimer have made this place their home as well, and can be encountered while venturing deeper. However, if we make our way all the way to the back of this power plant, we'll find one more unexpected resident. We'll find that one of the legendary bird trio, namely Zapdos, has made this place their home as well. Now, I don't need to tell you that Zapdos always has been, and still is one, of the best offensive electric-type Pokemon in the game, and is absolutely worth catching. So instead, let's look at the other encounters we find here, namely Grimer, Muck, and Voltorb. First off, let's look at Grimer, and its evolved form, Muck. Looking at their stats, we have a similar situation to the Machop line. They are bulky both offensively and defensively, and are overall well-rounded. Their attack stat, however, is noticeably higher than their special stat. This works to their benefit, as all poison-type moves are physical in this generation, which will allow them to dish out decent damage with stab moves, while still being able to take a beating due to their bulk. Overall, I'd say they're not a bad encounter to get, and considering all the poison types you can find in this generation, they still managed to give the Nidoran lines some competition. Lastly, let's take a look at Voltorb. Just at a glance, the only notable stat is speed. Their other stats are all painfully average, or downright mediocre. I don't really have much to say on this one. Its learn set is garbage, and its space stats are nothing special. Overall, I'd say pass on this one. Now, if you have any strategies, tips, or ideas relating to any of the encounters thus far that I didn't mention, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Your input is always welcome here. And with that, we're all out of time for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more exciting content. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.